have a barrel discussion real quick this morning, guys. This is a brand new barrel, not even on the extension yet, from a vendor. It's an 8mm barrel. And there are some spec issues that we pointed out with some of their 308 barrels, and now this is one of their 8mm barrels. I just wanted to show you guys what we're talking about here. When we spec'd this is a 762x39 barrel. When we spec'd these, we sent a dozen or so, half a dozen or so, whatever it was, 6, 8, 10 barrels to the machinist, and we averaged those numbers to get our specs as far as external dimensions go. We also oversized the shoulder here so you can headspace this thing properly, because some barrels, I've seen it with some of their other barrels, you have to put a shim in here, and I really don't like doing that. My preference is to turn this shoulder properly. So if you oversize the anyways, that's what we did when we spec'd these. I'm not sure where they got the specs for these barrels. It's not uncommon for an 8mm barrel to not work in one of these 308 booster nozzles. So we have an 8mm one here as well. As you can see, my 762x39 barrel goes right on there without any issues. The 308 one, it's a little bit tight. I'd have to look at it and see what exactly is causing that. I think it could be the diameter here on this crown. Just hitting the inside here, not quite letting it go all the way in. There is like a ridge inside of these. It's hard to see with the camera, but there's a ridge inside of this particular one that's not here in the 8mm ones. So I think this crown is just slightly oversized. It's super easy to fix, or you just run the 8mm. Problem with this other barrel is neither one of them will go on, even the 8mm. And that's not, let me see if I've got it on the finish over here. Another 8mm style. It will not go. Too dark here. Will not go. It's just at a crooked angle there. So there's no way that this barrel, even after you install the barrel extension here, would ever actually go into a gun, because it won't go into this. So you would never be able to get the barrel closed. This guy sitting here is a factory 8mm barrel, Yugo extension. Yeah, so this is a Yugo barrel. Let's see. That one jumped on there just fine, no problems. Same thing with that one, which is the other 8mm. So all three of them will go on this factory 8mm barrel. And none of them will go on this new manufacturer barrel. I've tried to correct these in the lathe before, and you end up with a nasty mess. It seems like what's happened is the crown area here is incorrect. I can kind of show you. Let me see if I can get it into. You see how it tapers down beyond this crown? It tapers down and goes beyond that little bit there. You don't see that. Yep. I mean, the end of the barrel, there's no taper and extension past that crown there. This ledge, whatever you want to call that, on the barrel there. So the barrel is physically a little bit longer there, and that's, I believe that's what's not letting it go, partially what's not letting it go in your booster nozzles. It's gonna be hard to tell on camera, but the barrel bottoms out before it will actually go on there. So when you try to take the crown down a little bit and take that tapered edge extension that you see there off, they still don't want to fit. So you end up chasing your tail trying to get the nose of this thing back into spec over out of spec barrel. Some of the other ones we've seen, and I just checked this one a little bit ago, and this isn't the case, but some of these, like we said, you end up having to put a shim in here because the shoulder is too small. We don't like to do that. This one seems like it would headspace just fine with this particular extension once you torque it on there. Some of these extensions won't even go on, which is not uncommon. We see that. Whatever the spec differences are in some of these. See that one? Oh, it started. Okay. Anyways. It's very common to have to turn your shoulder or whatever. You're setting the headspace here, so that's not an issue with a Virgin barrel. Not fitting is definitely an issue. So this barrel is going to end up going back, and I don't think there's any other 8mm barrels available currently on the market. So yeah, there's an issue there, but these barrels are out of spec. I guess you guys can figure out whose barrels they are. Anyways, that's that. The last batch of decent barrels that we got, new US made barrels, was from, what was that, Apex, I want to say. They had some pretty decent ones, but they've been out for a while. The 308 stuff is just much more popular, 7.62, than the 8mm stuff is, for several reasons. So a lot of guys are just getting away from this. So there's nobody making barrels that are in spec. Kind of is what it is. Maybe we'll have to get on the ball with that. But anyway, guys, be careful what barrels you get, because this is no bueno, unfortunately. So y'all have a good day.